Well, Timothy, it's so good to have you on today's podcast. We've been eager to get you over here. As a fan of yours, watching many of your home tours, I also was equally as excited to have you tour a couple Golden Eagle homes. So for those of you who are watching today's podcast, go check out Timothy's home tours. We've got them linked below in the description. Now, you have an incredible frequency of home tours coming out. No one puts out as many home tours as you. You've got to see all the latest trends, the cool stuff that's happening out there. Will you please, let's start with that. Touch on what's the cool stuff that you see coming up in the future. What are the trends right now?
Yeah. Zach, first off, thanks for having me. I've been a big fan of y'all's for a while too. Just the stuff that y'all are putting out, it's second to none. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, we tour homes all across the country, and we get to see some pretty neat stuff. You're seeing a lot of ultra modern styles kind of right now being pushed to the forefront. Very popular. Some kind of mountain modern stuff, which is you're still having that modern take on the home, but they're incorporating a lot of rustic elements, which is pretty neat. And then, I think the big thing is just the how the living space is starting to work around family and socializing. We're getting to see a lot of that. So in your kitchens, you've got huge kitchen islands and stuff like that with these big windows that might open up into an outdoor patio space, or just being able to easily transition from the living room to the outside. The basements, the way people are utilizing basements now to incorporate just wholesome family things, whether it's I've seen lately, I just toured one with a soccer field downstairs they used up underneath of the garage, which was pretty neat.
Really?
Yeah. We've done that. Bowling alleys, golf simulators, movie theater rooms, all that type of stuff. So it's cool to see that where people are, and talking to these people that are living in these homes, they're like, yeah, that's where we spend our time, So it's fun to see that type of stuff.
Man, I love seeing the incorporation of outdoor spaces and how that's being brought over. You would always say that the kitchen is the heart of the home.
Yeah.
And now we're bringing that outdoors as well. So many people are building on beautiful pieces of property. And not only do you have that fire pit, but also being able to have those stainless steel cabinets, having the grill out there. A lot of people are into their smokers.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm noticing that as a trend when we go and tour homes.
I just got my first one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What'd you go with?
So it was actually, I had mentioned it in passing to my father-in-law, and the next day I had a smoker. So it was just one from Walmart, but
cool.
I've already cooked a few things on it, so it's been fun.
Hey, good. Yeah, I don't have one yet. It's on the to-do list.
Yeah.
It seems to me like it's something that a lot of our clients have, So I also noticed that when they do have gas grills, have you seen this where they have the gas hookup directly connected in?
Yeah, I've seen that, which is awesome because now you don't have to, if your home's already hooked up on gas, you don't have to keep going to swap tanks all the time.
Yeah.
Right, which is a pain in the neck sometimes.
Yeah.
So
man, let's just keep rolling with it. The cool stuff that we see, because right now we're talking about the gas tanks. Now I'm thinking you got electric car plug-ins. We saw that last house.
Yep.
That's convenient. These are cool things that we see in these homes that are just making it easier to live in the space.
Yeah.
You already listed off some really cool stuff. What are the other cool things that you've seen on these tours?
Like you mentioned, kind of the outdoor living space. I love it when they can put a double-sided fireplace where it is both inside and outside, but you can enjoy it from both angles. Gosh, there's so much. I love the hearth rooms, the idea of a hearth room.
What's a hearth room?
So you've got your main living room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which may have a fireplace, may not have a fireplace. But then just off of the living room, it would typically have another fireplace. It might be a more formal after dinner place to go sit and retire, right?
Oh, I see.
But they're just, you see them, it's not quite like an office space, but it's still kind of rustic and masculine in terms of you're going to go smoke a cigar or something in there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. I just like that, the way that, having all these fireplaces in a home just really brings that hominess to it.
Well, I know you're a big fan of having stone in a home.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, it offers a nice rustic vibe to the space.
Rustic and industrial is where I'm at.
We toured a really cool home. It was huge, 17,000 square feet, and it had a lower level bar, and then just outside of that was a smoker's lounge, and it was below this huge turret.
Oh, cool.
I just thought that was cool. It looked castle-like.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Was that one of y'all's?
It was, yeah. Yeah. And then, the cool home theaters, it's always nice to see what people do with that.
Right.
Yeah. Because a lot of times, these homes have great views. Therefore, in the great rooms, they're not going to place priority on watching a movie up there.
Right.
It just takes up too much real estate. So a lot of times there's a dedicated home theater.
Yeah. And they're getting crazy. Like they look like better than what you're going to see at like an IMAX or something.
Yeah. And the laser projectors take it to a whole new level. But then also those screens with the thin bevel around them.
Oh, yeah.
It just looks like a television.
Right. I saw one that I just saw it last night, actually. It was an outside one, maybe something to incorporate in a future build. But it was built into the ground, right? And it comes up as just like a square. And then as it climbs, it starts folding out almost like the door, right?
Wow.
But once it finally opens up, it's a seamless picture frame for like outdoor living space.
Huh. Incredible.
Wild.
Yeah. We've got a project where they've integrated speakers inside of walls. So this would be like, within the theater. And think of how immersive that experience would be. Strategically in the past, when you set up a home theater, you not only care about where the speakers are placed, but you also want it to look good.
Right.
When they're in the walls or in the ceiling, not only can you have optimal placement, but it doesn't matter where it's located because it's always going to look good. You won't even see it. So I'm not even talking when you see the speaker grid and it's painted the same color as the wall.
It's in the wall.
It's in the wall. It's right behind the drywall.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I've heard it. It sounds awesome.
Does it? That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Is the audio good?
Well, speaking of sound, have you ever been in a home with shooting ranges?
No, not yet.
Yeah, we got a couple like that. They're pretty cool. And the targets, retreat back to you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Right on.
Yeah, so that's what's neat about a new custom home. You can have these specialized spaces just dedicated to whether it's your craft, your hobbies, your interests. I mean, you've probably seen some pretty cool home gyms in the past.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's some big ones. I want to go back to this home range real quick.
Yeah, okay.
So how do y'all obviously you'd have to soundproof it in some way because you don't want everybody upstairs trying to sleep and you're out here like hanging out with your firearms and stuff.
This may seem overkill, but what we often recommend is that it's in a finished lower level basement. So you've got concrete on the floor, concrete on the walls, and then we'll even put concrete above the room.
Okay.
So not only is that valuable for the potential of a stray bullet,
right,
but of course that helps deaden the noise. And then of course you would need to have some sort of like a curtain along the wall. I'm not talking a normal curtain, but a sound deadening curtain.
right.
Yeah, so that'd be valuable as well.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. You hear the same thing about gyms. So a lot of times there's a similar principle with home gyms. Have you ever been in a home where they do a basement or a garage below the garage, a subterranean garage?
Yeah.
And they use something called hollow core to do that.
Okay.
Which is essentially, concrete because you got the vehicle above. That is also a really good place to put a home gym.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you got the music booming, right?
Yeah.
Or I suppose a lot of people probably just use AirPods as well.
Yeah, AirPods nowadays.
These days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I mean, I guess different strokes,
Yeah, it depends what you're doing. Like if you're a CrossFitter and you're really moving.
Yeah, you're definitely.
I could see those falling out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
absolutely. Cool. What are some things that you're seeing when you visit log cabins, timber homes, like what we often do?
Right.
You were just at a home of ours just the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, with that, obviously there's brand new stuff that y'all are putting into your homes that I haven't seen anywhere, and I tour some pretty state-of-the-art homes. Probably the most surprising thing was obviously when we went into the pantry with your that little push button thing.
Wasn't that cool?
Like the hands-free thing. I love that.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going into my future gotta have list.
With you being in these homes, that offers such a unique perspective. What do you think it is about the viewers and the style that you have on your show? Like what really attracts them to watching your tours and the homes that you're featuring?
I ask myself that all the time. I think the big thing is I am them. I'm just an average person, normal Joe, that we get to step inside of homes that we may not normally ever get to experience. And we get to do that together. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sell them a home. I'm not trying to pitch them something that they don't want. I'm just there opening the cabinets. Like, we're getting nosy together. You know what I mean? And we're just going through the home and having fun. And, you know, it's on camera, but it's a conversation. Like, I open the floor for their ideas and their perspectives on the home. And, you know, I try not to force my own ideas and opinions while I do all the time, but I try not to. And when I do that, I hope for feedback from them as well. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just having that friendship, that camaraderie, touring things that we all love.
There must be things that you see all the time and you think to yourself, I need to build a new home.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Your style probably evolves. Does your business partner and also wife, Jen, does she get on the road with you and check out these homes as well?
She used to back in the day. Now her time is spent, you know, they're going through all the parade stuff across it. They've got like this huge sheet of different parades all across the country and lists of builders left and right. But that's kind of where she focuses. And honestly, if it wasn't for her, there would be no YouTube channel, right? So if you hate the homes that she picks, it's her fault. But
yeah, she coordinates a lot of this.
Yeah, she is the backbone. She's like the COO of the whole operation, and then I'm just like the dancing monkey.
Yeah.
But no, it definitely, you know, seeing all these homes and coming back home to her, and it's like, I'm ready to move. I want to get out of here. I hate this place. I saw this home and had this cool feature. I want that. So, you know, she gets that a lot. She hates it, but, you know, it's fun.
Have you continued with dreaming up what that home may look like? I mean, you've seen so much cool stuff. What are some of your must-haves if you were to build a new home?
Yeah, so obviously I'm on YouTube and I like to dabble in different things. So having my own office space that right now I'm in, we've got a 4-bedroom house, and the only bedroom on the main level has been turned into my office, which is also a guest room at the same time. So I don't have a whole lot of space. So that's going to be one of my big things in a home, which I've seen some really cool office spaces, mostly in the basements. I love how people are utilizing basements these days. I've seen a lot on the main levels, but I feel like that's so close to the front door and you're going to get all that family life happening. So being able to put it in a nice quiet spot within the basement somewhere is awesome. Other things are, as we talked about, I love bourbon and stuff like that. So like a cellar or some type of speakeasy or something like that within the house. I've got this whole kind of board on my phone that whenever I see something cool, it's like, all right, going to keep that. But yeah, that type of stuff. Obviously, I love vaults. I love exposed beams and wood and stuff like that. I think that's awesome. Definitely want that within my home. I like that. Even like that home that we toured yesterday from y'all. When you walk in, it's got this castle-y feel to it. And when I walk into my home, I want it to have that castle-y feel, right? So having a lot of that, I like to think of myself as someone that I like industrial type looks. And I feel like, especially like the timber frame stuff kind of goes with that, with the stone and everything. So it's like a perfect mesh.
Yeah, it sure does.
So,
and it's rugged. And you live on a farm. I think that is so cool.
Yeah.
And with being out, having country land like that, I think also that style of home would be very fitting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Farmhouse has been so popular throughout the years. You probably have quite a few homes under your belt within that genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's still hit or miss with the farmhouses. I feel like it's, you know, it's 50-50. Some people love it and some people hate it. Some people think it's played out, you know, and we're definitely seeing some different stuff come up that's maybe even every bit as popular.
See, that's what I want to know from you. You're on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
Is it played out? Are you still seeing that in the new homes?
Yeah, you're still seeing it in the new homes. You're seeing different takes on it. So what I like with the new kind of modern farmhouse, I like the dark colors. And not everybody loves the dark colors, but I think that comes from like an industrial kind of perspective, or, you know, a masculine perspective, because I like, you know, me and my wife can sit there and look at a home and she's going to like things and I'm going to like totally different things because of, you know, what we want. She wants the, you know, the whites and the light earthy colors. I want those dark, moody colors.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you know, you're seeing reversed farmhouse colors. You know, the floor plans are all the same, but at the same time, the color palettes are changing. So I think that's cool.
I can see that being spot on, because I think a lot of people do identify a particular color scheme for a farmhouse,
right?
Just as you described. And it probably is some sort of a transition into incorporating more of those industrial rugged elements. A bit of a counter to what had been existing, but people are still keeping the big windows, the big covered porches, those timber elements. Yeah, that's been one of our most popular plans, is a farmhouse log cabin. And I think it's because it has a lot more of those masculine touches to it. But it's always about balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when you tour these homes, oftentimes it's not about every single thing being a showstopper, right? You need an absence in the space. You need something that's subtle, just supporting the rest of the home.
Yeah.
And then you've got this great feature over here and this great feature over there.
Yeah, you definitely get way overwhelmed if you're getting hit with like crazy awesome stuff all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've probably visited some incredible properties as well.
Yeah, I just got done one yesterday.
Yeah. So would you touch base for our viewers? You did a in-depth behind the scenes tour of this home.
Yeah.
And I did one too while I was out there. So it's cool. We haven't really done much chatting about this yet. For your viewers, give them a preview of why they should head over and check out that video. What did you love about the place?
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to just like, I almost want to say like state-of-the-art features and just getting a lot of that rusticness into a home. But at the same time, and I was thinking about this on the ride down here, it was a perfect combination of like a rustic elegance. You know what I mean? It wasn't so over the top, because some log homes are beautiful, but there's, you know, an equal amount of people that maybe don't want all that wood. And man, what y'all did with that one was spectacular. Like, it was just the perfect combination. Like you were saying just a second ago, like you don't want so much in one particular, you need some of that quiet space. And I think timber frame, that's the perfect mesh.
Yeah, it sure is, with the drywall, but then the timbers accenting it, the wood ceilings, wood floors.
Yeah.
What I also really liked was there was a lot of hidden tech in that home.
Yeah, that I missed.
You did. So let's talk about that. Let's get everyone tuned into what was so believable that you happened to miss.
Yeah. So, and my wife had actually brought this up. This was something that she wanted on like her wish list, whatever birthdays or Christmas or whatever. And she was, it's these picture frame TVs, right? And man, they had, you know, I try to show off things quite a bit, and I try to catch things as much as I can when I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a hidden thing. That's secret. You know what I mean? But I turned around and I couldn't tell the difference between this thing, between the TV or picture. I didn't even mention it because it was just a picture, you know?
It did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is pretty incredible. So Samsung makes this TV called the Frame. And when it's in this ambient mode, it can cycle through these images. And yeah, they look like pictures. Yeah. And they can even adapt to the time of day. So if it's sunset,
that's what it'll
show the sunset. If it's raining out, you'll see rainfall.
Yeah.
And of course, when you do want to use it to be an actual TV, we saw that last night. Yeah. Great picture quality on it.
Yeah, they brought me into the room and showed me that it was actual TV. I was like, whew.
You know, so for those who watch your tours all the time, they would be surprised to find out that, and maybe they wouldn't, but let's just say I was surprised to find out that you genuinely are surprised as you walk through this home. Yeah. You have not been told what to say.
No.
You are not, all the secrets aren't revealed.
Not scripted.
Hence why you're non-scripted. And hence why you missed that picture frame TV. Yeah.
You know, I think that's the great thing about it. Doing the tours the way I do tours is because it allows people to interact. And, you know, I get comments all the time like, I was screaming at you the whole time you were in this room to turn this way. Like, you know, that type of stuff. So it's so interactive. But, you know, there's a lot of times where I'm sure people will tell me that, dude, that was a TV. You missed it, or whatever the case may be. You know, that's the fun part of it.
Well, you're genuine, you know, and that's pretty cool to see you, like, not only off camera, but then also on camera, you carry it through.
I try to be the same.
That is just you.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool that you preserve that for your tours. And that's probably why people love following along.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, what's the evolution for your tour schedule in the future? Do you plan to continue to do these really custom homes like you did the other day?
I mean, for now, you know, we're always looking for new ventures and stuff like that to get into.
And how many can we expect from you on a weekly basis? I can't even grasp how many you've done up to this point.
Yeah. So far we've done over 500 tours across the country. Right now, this being kind of our slower month, since nowadays we're starting to follow the parades. So July is kind of like a lull time. But we do every other day upload. So some weeks it's 3, some weeks it's 4, but it averages out to be about 14 tours per month.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and all of that is crammed into 1 week.
Our viewers would only wish that we had that many tours coming out on a regular basis.
Man, if y'all could put out that many homes and like tour them, golly.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it sure would be. Well, as the homes have changed throughout the years, I am sure you've seen some more things pick up in popularity. So you had commented about the shift from Farmhouse evolving that color palette.
Right.
Is there anything else that you're noticing starting to take place, transitioning in these homes as you get into more new homes? You highlighted industrial.
Yep.
So is that more of a universal trend? You're seeing more industrial?
I mean, you're seeing more modern open spaces, I think.
What about white painted cabinets? Is that still a thing?
I feel like that's starting to fade. Obviously, you're still going to walk through, and that's the cool thing about home building. It's all about personal preferences. So, you can be kind of pushed one direction or another, but for the most part, you're kind of transitioning into grays, or really out of grays too. Now you're starting to get into the darker blues, two-tone cabinetry, that type of stuff. I've seen a big push for natural wood again. You're starting to see a little bit of that come in. But I think mostly you're starting to get a lot of open concept floor plans. And I love it, because people come together now and you can socialize with everybody throughout the home in that one common space.
Maybe you can relate to me on this one. Sometimes I get into these homes and I'm scratching my head. How do I do this? How do I open this up? You could have like these multi-folding patio doors, like what we just saw in that last house. And that was incredible to see.
Yeah, that was huge.
And then you're shown how to do it and you realize, oh, it is so easy. I was overthinking it. That thing just slides like butter.
Yeah.
And how cool is it that it opened up the whole room?
Yeah. That indoor-outdoor space that they had down there, like that's probably going to go on that must-have list too. And I love that they had a real wood-burning fireplace. That was awesome. And then, so a lot of the times we see the sliding doors, right, which opens up a portion of the space to get outside. But I feel like with that like accordion-style door, it's like the whole thing is gone and you can just easily access and flow.
Yeah. So, and what was particularly great about that floor plan was that it was isolated to that room. So there was another door to get into the house.
Right.
That way, if any bugs come in, it's not a concern. But it is a 4 seasons room, so it is heated. That room can still be enjoyed the coldest of winter days.
Oh, nice.
So you can still like have those doors closed, see that beautiful snowfall coming down.
Right.
Oh, it's just perfect.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Another thing I was thinking about is home tech. I remember the first time I was ever in a home and they had those smart blinds that come down.
Oh, yeah.
How do I do that?
I still get excited about those.
I know, me too. I had commented to Luke on the drive back here. I'm like, am I talking about smart blinds too much? Because every time a home has them, I make such a big deal about it.
Did this home have them?
The one that we were just in, yes, it had smart blinds. All those rooms had smart blinds.
I'm gonna get yelled at.
Yeah, so that's another thing. It's just you being genuine. You weren't told that there were smart blinds. But see, that is what I love about technology now in these homes.
Yeah.
Is when it's not in your face. Those were 2 perfect examples where they were not in your face.
Seamless.
That TV and those smart blinds.
Absolutely.
They had a valance right in front of it. That's why you wouldn't have known.
Now
So
I'm gonna have to go.
A lot of times smart blinds, they're obvious. And they're also bulkier usually, but these were hardwired into the home.
Right.
So it keeps it more sleek. It's hidden away. And, usually these rooms, when they've got smart blinds, they've got remotes in the room for you to control it. This was actually a pad on the wall where you could select which window you wanted to operate.
In the room?
In the room.
Like the individual?
Each room had, right by each light switch, had a pad for operating the blinds to come up and down. And then this takes it a step further. I think this is brilliant. They had it on a schedule.
And that's nice.
Those blinds in the kitchen, they come down in the evening time. And then they come up, with sunrise in the morning.
I actually just had this conversation with my audience the other day. We were in a home, and I was like, I was talking about the hotel room. I was in Utah, and I had the mountains outside of my hotel room, and I was just wanting to lay there. I was like, man, one day I wish I could have someone come up and just kind of open my blinds for me, but now I don't even have to. I can just, that's awesome.
The integration of home technology, I love to see where that is going, because I don't want tech to be in my face when I'm at home. That happens in the office place, right? Or day to day, we're on computers. So when I'm at home, I don't want to see speakers around the house. I like when they're hidden away in the ceilings, or if you're outside, they're in the landscaping.
Absolutely.
Back again to that hidden TV. And like, even when it comes to the pocket door, getting into that pantry, the fact that was essentially tech right there.
Oh yeah.
But it's hidden, it's out of sight, and it's all about convenience.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have to go outside and grab the groceries and bring them inside. And I mean, I could easily see the benefit in that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now, you may not have noticed, but on that home that you had just toured, it was actually a home set up for accessibility. So coming in from the garage, there was no step.
Oh yeah.
And as you go throughout the whole first floor, even getting into that main master bathroom shower.
Transitions or anything.
Yeah, and that's why that shower was so big.
Yeah.
Well, you probably saw the tub.
Yeah, I saw the tub.
Yeah, so that's very good for aging in place. But additionally, like, that was a huge master bathroom.
Absolutely, I loved that master bathroom.
Yeah,
that thing was awesome. Like the built-ins from the shower, or the built-in in the middle of the ensuite, and then the shower itself. That was like a car wash, man. That thing was big. Yeah,
it was really cool. It even had a steam shower in there. You don't see those too often.
I saw that. I pointed that out in my video too.
Good catch.
Which was pretty neat. I was like, man, this thing's like a whole sauna.
Yeah, well, the clients always said they feel like they're on vacation when they're there. So they might as well have all the things, like the hot tub just around the corner.
Yeah.
When you're on a lake like that, it's hard not to feel like you're on vacation.
Yeah, that place was beautiful.
It certainly was. Now, while you came to our Design Center showroom, you were able to take a look at our model home on site as well. So that was probably pretty fun to look around. You'll have another video of that on your channel.
Yep, we filmed both homes, and it's different. So you've got the perspective of the log home, which we toured today, and then you've got the perspective of the timber frame home. So and I think that's two different people can both appreciate.
Yeah, it's obviously two very distinctive styles.
Yep.
Also, the model home on site was built around 2006, I believe. So it's been there for a while.
But they're timeless, I feel like.
Exactly. You got it. Yeah.
That's why I love log homes. So, obviously we tour like these uber modern ones, and the theme comes up, or the question comes up all the time. It's like, how long do they last for in terms of like in style, in favor? And who knows? You know what I mean? Nobody likes split levels anymore. Mm-hmm. So, but log homes, man, they're tried and true.
Yeah, they certainly are. I recall when I was growing up and people knew that my family was in the log and timber home business, I'm pretty sure that they thought, well, how many of those must you guys do a year? Because I don't ever see a log home. The reality is, when you get out on beautiful pieces of property, that's where you find them.
Yeah.
Alongside lakes, in the mountains.
Absolutely.
And they're nearly commonplace in Colorado and out west.
Well, in Appalachians in Tennessee, they're all over the place. We've got quite a few in West Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can't beat them.
A cool thing about Golden Eagle, and you may have picked up on this on our website, is that we've got all different styles of homes. To me, I think that's why you're starting to see the mix of modern and rustic across the board, is because multiple styles can be blended together.
Right.
It could look like a log home on the exterior, and then
which is what the one we just toured did. Mm-hmm. The timber frame one. It looked exactly like a log home, which was cool.
Yeah. Really neat. Well, thanks for joining us today. It's been great to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Really enjoy your tours. It's awesome to meet you in person.
Yeah.
And we were flattered that you took the time to tour two of our homes. So we'll put a link below in the description and people can go check that out.
All right. Thanks for having me, Zach.
Absolutely. Thanks, Timothy.
Imagine a life where your home is a work of art, where nature and luxury embrace, with a custom Golden Eagle log and timber home. Our expert team is here to guide you every step of the way.